We want to give you guys a quick life hack recommendation. If you're from the Toronto area, GTA, our lovely listeners, we want to help you out here. As of late, we've been recording a lot more, spending a lot more time in the studio, and because of our lives are a little bit hectic, we're in and out. We never really have snacks and food here, so we partnered up with Tiggy, who is a Canadian app, and recently came to Toronto, and they are an on-demand food delivery service.
And also, you can get your COVID test and basically anything else you need. They got a variety of unique products. Basically, anything that you might want last minute, you can go on the app. It's 15 to 30 minute delivery. Yeah, you heard that right. 15 to 30 minutes. We literally order it when we get in the studio before an episode. And before we even sit down to start recording, our food is here.
I'd say even for us, it's always come closer to the 15 minutes than the 30. Like, we'll order it, and before we can, as soon as we sit down, take our jackets off, our guest gets here, like, the stuff is here. And, like, keeps us, we get drinks, snacks, anything we really need to kind of, keep us going, it comes. The best part is there's no fees, no subscriptions. It's actually amazing. They have fresh products, and we actually, we don't waste stuff here. We order what's needed every episode. And, we go through it, and then the next time we're back in here, we order more. We don't waste stuff because it's sit here and go bad, and it's been a lifesaver.
And since we love you guys so much, we're going to give you guys a promo code. You knew this was coming. PAL30. Yeah, PAL30. PAL 30 gives you 30% off your first 3 orders. Yep. Bingo. Boom. Go do it.
Guys, and not only that, the price of everything's going up. You're going to save 30%. What a no-brainer. Thank us later. Don't even thank us. Just go and do it. Have a great day.
We'll put the download link in the bio, in the description. So click the unique link. You can download it. Again, and the promo code is PAL30 for 30% off your first 3 orders. Now get ready for this fire episode. Let's go. So we were just saying, I guess you've done a lot of podcasts, eh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially for the last few weeks.
Yeah?
A lot of, all kinds of fucking Zoom podcasts. Crazy.
Those are the worst, though. Honestly, I can't.
It's awkward.
I'm so done with Zoom episodes.
Zoom is just that was a good thing to keep us alive for a bit, but there's no need for it.
No.
When people are like, "Hey, we want to do a Zoom meeting," I'm like, "There's no need for this." A Zoom? Where you at? King Street? No, I'll walk to you. I'll meet you. The fuck. You know what I mean?
So when you found out we were just off Queen, you were like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm always up and about, so it's great.
Where's home for you?
City Place.
Oh yeah.
I'm at City Place, Bathurst in Fort York.
Did you grow up in Toronto?
Yeah. I grew up in. Is this live right now?
Yeah, we're rolling, baby.
You can drink.
Okay.
We catch people off guard because we go nice and smooth into it.
You guys,
we've done a few of these.
I feel like you guys are perfect at pitching ideas to companies. You're just like, hey, come have a seat, have a drink. No, but I know. I'm born and raised in Toronto. I was a North York guy.
Whereabouts North York?
North York. So close to Yorkdale, close to Yorkdale, and then Bathurst and Steeles area.
Okay.
So just all around that area. Any Filipino region that needed Jewish nannies, Jewish people needed nannies, that was I was around there. You know what I mean? I went to school in Thornhill, so you know what I mean. So I was up and about, bro.
Wait, how did you go from North York to Thornhill?
Oh, it's just you just go a little north. You know what I mean? You just go a little north. Things happen at home, and then you gotta just move up north.
Okay.
But no, I went to a lot of different schools. I was a lot of different schools. 5 different high schools.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I was just a fucking little punk.
Expelled or move schools?
Yeah, so I got kicked out of one school, and then I went to another school, and then that school, I don't want to say their names, but that school expelled me for the whole region, bro.
No fucking way.
So that's why I had
So that's why you went Thornhill.
So I got expelled for a whole region.
So you have to look at a map and say,
they're like,
where the hell
like,
can
all
I
right.
go?
Where does 416 end and 905
Yeah, they're
start?
like, all right, once it hits the 905, you're done, pal. You ever been to Promenade Mall? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you guys, where do you guys grow up?
I was Black Creek and Lawrence. So I was on the other side of Yorkdale.
Okay, so you know what's up.
Yeah, bro. Friday nights, Yorkdale.
Yeah,
Photo
okay.
booth. I know what's up.
Yes, there you go.
Photo booth. Please elaborate.
Bro, that's where literally everyone had their first kiss in the photo booth outside the Cineplex at Yorkdale.
Where did you have your first kiss at the Cineplex?
No. I had more ghetto ratchet girls, so that was a finger blast booth for me. But that was, you know what I mean? This guy went to a nice school where girls were like,
I know a couple girls too.
This girl was like, "Oh man, you know, yeah, I made out." I was like, "Nah, son, I was wrist in." No,
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding.
No, they were tight. No, it was knuckle in. It was knuckle in. She just still on girl. We weren't horrors that I was finger blast here. They're still. We were both still in elementary school.
Oh man!
Holy shit!
Okay, so
good. Your first kiss was in the photo booth at?
No, actually, shockingly, mine wasn't. Mine was in a park actually. In grade 7.
Yeah, you seem like an athletic guy, you know.
No, we met up after school and went for a walk in the park.
Was it like one of those peck like runaways, or did you get all like?
No, it was like a good 10-second kiss.
Okay.
Oh, you guys planned it.
Putting the moves on.
Yeah, I remember I was so nervous. She kind of kissed me actually.
Oh, I bet you all your TikTok followers would not believe that story.
Yeah. What about you? Where was your first kiss?
To my girlfriend Becca.
Oh, give me a break, this guy.
Right now?
Like we started dating August 8th, so August 8th is my first kiss.
That's it. Never been with another woman ever.
This guy's ride or die. I like that. This is why you need this motherfucker as a friend. This is the guy you sell crack with. This is the guy, because you know he's loyal to the game.
Right, the alibi always lines up.
Really to bag it, I guess. Keith, when did you start doing this? When did you start being a comedian? Like when did this all come together? Were you always the funny kid in school, or you were obviously the troublemaker?
No, I expelled because I never went to school.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I mean? You can't be a class clown when you're not in class.
So you just skipped school? That's how you got expelled?
Well, I was skipping school because, buddy, I was making that loot outside. So you know what I mean? Just flipping that, trapping. You know what I mean? Just doing what the rappers do when they're talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was making movements, buddy. I was
Gotcha.
I was in bodybuilding class, if you know what I mean, moving those weights. But yeah, and then one thing led to another, and you know, we just got hot. You know, we got really hot, and they tried to like arrest me, but they couldn't. Bro, I was smart, man. See, this is a long time ago, so I was smart. I was like, I had like one locker on file, but like I remember first day of that grade, I bought out 2 other lockers. I told other kids, like the ones closest by, like the areas that I knew I was gonna sell at, like the exits. I was like, yo, I like this locker. This is a good location. How much you want for this locker? You know what I mean? I'll give these guys like, you know, just to give you how old I was, you know, like a Discman. Discman, so you know what I mean, like
yeah,
something like that.
It's like Blueprint just came out.
Yeah, Blueprint. You know, I'll give you the fucking Chronic 2001 bootleg, you know, CD off Napster. You know what I mean? Like that was the buyout. So they tried to pinch me on something, and then they couldn't, and then they realized I wasn't going to class, and
So
they're just like, yo,
get out
fuck
of
you,
here?
get out of here. Your attendance is shit.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's.
Did I ever tell you the story about how my Walkman got stolen from me in grade?
Bro, he's the one that took it right here. He's the guy that took it.
Honestly, if you grew up in Mississauga, I would have believed it. But I grew up in Mississauga. Man, I was like the little like chubby kid, whatever. A little bit, get to myself. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I got a Walkman in late grade 7, I think, Discman.
Good time.
And I had like 50 Cent was my first album. I think I got into Club, whatever, and a couple other ones. And when I went to high school in grade 9, I was riding the bus, like the metro to school. And I'd have my Walkman in the backpack.
Yeah.
For some reason, not on me, and and have the headphones on. And I don't know, I guess one day I got home and I went to go look for it. I was like, oh, it's gone. Like, what the hell? And anyways, a couple days pass. I get back on the bus one day and I see someone listening to one across from me that looks a lot like mine.
There it is.
Young guy. And I'm like, I think that's mine. And I'm someone who's like, I'm not scared of confrontation.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, I'm not gonna fight someone, but like I'm gonna be like, hey man, like, which I did. I went up to him and I was like, hey, that looks like my Walkman. He goes, no, it's mine. I was like, well, it looks identical to mine, and if you flip it over, my initials are probably on it. I'm not even joking. He flips it over, and my initials were written in Sharpie, and it said like, it literally had like my initials, and there was like a black like box over it, colored. And he's like, there's no initials here. I was like, bro, it's like you colored it.
Yeah,
it's clearly like, why else would you draw a black square in the middle of the Walkman?
Yeah.
He's like, that's how it came. I was like, that's my Walkman. He goes, we have a problem. I was like, all right, man, whatever.
Guess not. No problem.
That guy lives rent free in my head to this day. So, anyways, that was the story of how I got a Walkman stolen, and I never had my Discman, and I never had another Discman, and I was sad with that.
Here we are 10 years later.
Do you know what
Yeah.
was the
And
worst? Was the worst invention?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It
honestly,
skipped all the time. It never fit in your pocket. Fuck that thing.
What a bizarre thing. To
Yeah,
me. Like,
it never
very
fit
not-
in your pocket.
You had to hold it like a fucking hot plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come in like a French server.
Yeah.
You're fucking serving at a banquet hall in Woodbridge. You know what I mean? You're holding this disc, man, while you're, you know what I mean? Trying to hit the metro home.
Yeah.
Fuck that thing. You didn't need it. God was giving
Honestly, you're probably right. Like, what a stupid, like, what a bad invention.
Remember they made the non-skip ones after?
you. Yeah.
And it was like...
Rick was
that
rich. You got the non-skip one.
No, I never had one. I had the
Panasonic
regular.
Or like, what was it, Casio or like what?
Yeah, something like that. And then they had the MP3 players.
Yeah.
With a little floppy disk.
Zooms or something. Remember?
Yeah, I can't
No,
remember what
not
they're...
floppy. Like a little, like memory cards.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
were like...
Decent size.
Yeah, they were like...
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
good 4x3 kind of thing.
I remember stuff like Sony. Do you think about how like recent that is too? Like, so I'm in high school. I was in high school in 2004, 2008. So like a long time ago, but not that long ago. And to think that like in high school, there was no iPod when I was in high school. The iPod came out like grade 11, 12 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Wait, what came first, the iPhone or the iPod?
I think the iPod.
Yeah.
Yeah, the iPod.
Yeah. So like
the shuffle.
Yeah. So
that
like
came-
think about like, man, that anyways, I remember those other those other MP3 players, like Sony had them, and I had one of those, I think, and they were awful. Like you put like 100 songs on it. And then album comes out, changes the game, and you got like fucking 10,000 songs in your pocket. And
It's nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thank
Just-
God that guy stole my Discman. Good riddance.
But it's like, you know, remember that fucking, you know, growing up, you know, you're on the 401 trying to rip through the CD books. Remember the fucking 88 pages of blank CDs? Fucking
I had those.
None of it's labeled. It says Summer Jams 07. That's it.
Slow
Fuck,
jams with a Z.
Slow jams or like, you know, the panty peeler. Like, you know what I mean? You just had this fucking weird ass Sharpie.
But at the
I still
time,
have mine.
you knew exactly what songs were on those at that time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like, you look back maybe a month later, like, shit, I got no idea what's on this. But when you were going through, you're like, hey, go. Track 8, go. Skip.
yeah.
I
True. And none of it was labeled too. You could decipher the blue CD, the Sony CD,
Yeah,
the
you
fucking
know exactly.
Panasonic.
And they were all based off of like Napster and LimeWire. Like we're risking our family computers to download a couple songs illegally.
Yeah.
I still have my things in my parents' house. I might have got rid of them recently, but I used to DJ as well through university, and I used to play with like CDs.
Yeah.
In the CDJs, and I have like stacks of CDs burnt to like to DJ with, and even back in the day, like in high school and stuff like that. So many of them, unpractical as hell. But to your point about the downloading and the Napster and stuff like that, I once got an email. I don't even know. I thought it was fake. I think it was an email, and it got me so shook. I was downloading. I think I was like downloading like movies. Like I think. Oh, I mean, I wasn't downloading movies. I definitely was not downloading movies. I was like whatever. Anyways, I think I was. No. It wasn't. I was actually like I don't know, Batman or something, whatever. And I was on like a peer-to-peer sharing thing, and I got an email like a pop-up or something, but like the FBI has your VPN. This is the area you live in. I'm like, and it was like almost to the place. I'm like, oh my God, someone's watching me. Someone delete. Erase hard drive. I was so scared. I was like, wow, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail for the stupid Blu-ray Batman.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I just want it in 1080p, man. Fuck.
Yeah, like
It's not worth
I
it.
could have just gone to the Pacific Mall, got my like burnt copy with like this grainy and guy holding a camcorder that like shakes when he coughs.
No menu.
But you know,
You just put it in. Press
That's it.
play.
And it's like the front of the bag it comes in is like that poor quality printed image of the trailer.
did you guys ever like buy like
Oh, of course.
100%.
where did you first get like where do you like remember them first popping up?
Pacific Mall, man. I think that was the plug back then when you're just like, even I remember my boy came up to me and was like, "Yo, you want to get your Xbox hacked?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Bro, look all these games I got." I went to his house and he had the motherfucking CD book of the games, and it was just written like Assassin's Creed, Need for Speed,
GTA.
Yeah, it was just written in
All
handwriting.
misspelled, eh?
And then he would play. Yeah, he would put it in, and I'm like, "This can't be real." He's like, "Nah, dude, like $200, get it fucking zapped." And I'm like,
Kids.
what? So I did it, and it was great. The transactions of the games was like so black. Like you have to, it's like buying a hooker. You know what I mean? It was like you go through a fucking catalog. You're like, yeah, that one. It's like, all right, watch that. Check that back door in 10 minutes. And then some fucking stranger comes behind, like, behind the register.
Oh my
And
god!
then he hands you a disc.
I remember buying them at the local, like Keel and Lawrence, at the corner. A guy just in his truck would sell flags, fake jerseys, and like burnt movies.
First place I saw him was in New York City. The guys in the street would have them, and I was like, "What? This is a thing?" And I'd like stand there for hours, like, "I want this one, I want this one." They're like you get like 5 for like
$10,
something like that. Yeah, and I remember just like being there. I was like, "This is the craziest thing ever." And then Pacific Mall and whatever. I still have a giant stack of those in my parents' house somewhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thank God for Netflix. Thank God for Steve Jobs and the friggin' iPhones and this shit technology anymore.
What do you think about Netflix bringing commercials? You hear about that?
Bro, that stock went off a cliff.
You see, they lost 200. I think it was 200,000
Net
subscribers.
but it's also because they lost. They would have had. They actually allegedly wouldn't have lost, but because they turned Russia off, they gave up 500,000 subscribers. Yeah. So they would have actually been positive, and I think their profitability was up, but because they had their first loss in 10 years, the last time was October, 10 years ago, they lost 35%. That's insane.
I heard about that.
And now, they were doing the what's it called? Not freemium, but like ad supported model where you pay less but you get ads, and they're trying to crack down on
password sharing.
Right, but actually, a pretty smart way how they're gonna do it. It won't give them a whole lot of revenue. It'll help them, but it's interesting what they're going to do. Their approach, I think this is accurate, what they're going to do or what they were proposed, someone suggested they do, or they suggested it. Anyways, if you use my password, so let's say I have an account, you both use it. Rather than cut you off,
yeah, they're going to cut you off.
No, they're going to raise my price. They're going to raise my price by $2. And they're going to say, you might be family members, they might be whatever. They don't care who you're sharing it to, but they're going to say because, people rely on you, we're going to ask you to cover this premium for them. They can still enjoy it. You're paying $2 more a month, which is pretty smart from a PR perspective because then they're not the bad guy. George then I'll go to you guys say, hey, I can't afford this $2, so I'm canceling it.
Or I'm changing my password.
Yeah, so they put the onus on the user sharing, which I think is pretty clever.
Yeah. It's Netflix, right? Or some smart ass people.
Or
you just call Keith.
He's
got the plug.
Dude who'll be like, listen, guys. Netflix fucked me up. Charging me an extra $5. You gotta pay me $5. At least $5. This guy's pocketing $3.
Bro, Keith's gonna have the plug to zap your TV box, your Netflix box. Unlimited passwords from this guy over here.
I got this box. It has Disney, HBO Max. It's got Netflix, Crave. What do you want? I feel like that's just the way to do it, though.
So I heard something like a while ago about this stuff because they call it cord cutting, like moving to streaming.
Yeah.
And I think someone made a joke about it. I don't remember which comedian, but someone said it. And he's like, if you think about it, for Netflix was the first one to come up with this model, and they became cord cutting, right? But then everyone obviously sees an opportunity and everyone wants to jump into it. Yeah. So you got rid of your cable box, Bell, let's say, Bell sucks, Bell, and you get Netflix. But then you can't just have Netflix because you need Disney because it has all the Marvel movies. And then you can't just have that because you need Crave because it has HBO.
Yeah.
So you start adding
what
them,
I
right?
do. That's who I am.
Yeah, exactly. So it keeps adding on. Give it 10 years from now, you're going to have to go buy a box that has all these channels in it, and you're back to being attached to the cable.
Bro,
more or less.
I'm not going to lie. There was one point I had HBO Max, Crave TV, Disney Plus, Netflix, I think like Hulu. Or something
yeah, Hulu.
Because like FX, you know what I mean?
Hulu's a good one, but it's only American, I think.
I got no idea.
No, I think it was something like I forgot it was something that's attached to that.
No, you're right. It is Hulu, but it's really good.
And so I was just watching all this shit, and I think like Apple TV as well. Like everything came to like $80 a month. My Bell, like internet, cable, all that shit was like probably $200. So I was still saving money. Right, and then someone put me on this other thing. I don't know if I should fuck it.
It's a Zap box, eh?
It's a fucking on your. It's an app that you download off of your Netflix stick. What's that thing? Not Netflix, Amazon stick.
Yeah.
Your Amazon Fire Stick. It's called Apollo TV. It's like $80 a month. You get everything, bro.
Like everything.
At fucking everything. Pay-per-view, everything. I'm watching fucking the Batman and fucking Spider-Man, freaking 4K, just fucking
Really?
a couple weeks ago. It's
Come
crazy.
on.
I say like $80. That's insanely expensive.
$86.
But then I think about it, like that's actually nothing if you watch TV. Like if you spend like a couple hours a day watching TV, which
But
a lot
no,
of
but I
people do.
was just paying $80 for all those things a month.
Yeah,
8 things,
now you have everything
$10 a
unlimited.
month. You know, now I got everything, which is the same price, but it's everything. And what I like about it is like there's this one part of it where you can. It says rewatch sports events, so you could go through the calendar of the month and watch something that you missed. You know, a Raptor game you missed.
Really?
Yeah, boxing fight, pay-per-view, anything.
That's actually really good because I'm a big boxing fan and I don't get all the fights, so I have to stream them sometimes, and it's impossible. Like, I feel bad because as a boxing fan, I want to pay for the pay-per-views. Like, I just genuinely feel like these guys are like doing something. Like, I feel bad streaming it.
Yes.
But then
You
there's
wanna
also
support
fights
it.
where I'm like, I don't want to pay to see this guy. Like, I like this
Exactly.
guy, but he's not like, he's not Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. I'm not gonna pay to see him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Well,
like,
I've never paid for a pay-per-view. How much is it? Like
pay-per-views are
$80?
expensive
$100?
now.
$200?
They're $80. They did a fight recently.
Might as well just go to the bar and watch it.
Because I don't know. You can probably find one, but I like sitting on my couch. I don't like being
that's
around
true.
people. Sorry,
I'm the same way, man. If I could rent it at home, I'm like,
but like, I like
$80, unlimited.
If I go with my buddies, sure. But like, a lot of my friends aren't boxing fans that I know of, at least. So like, to do a whole thing. But pay-per-views are getting expensive. The Zone is probably my favorite thing that I own. Streaming wise, like $20 a month, and you get like, you can not only watch the fights, you can watch all the old ones, whatever.
Zone?
You get
and it's all boxing.
You never heard of the
It's
Zone?
all sport.
It's all sport. It's a lot of sports, but I think it's a UK company. Their biggest, I guess, channels they have would be like boxing, like so like actual boxing fights. They have some MMA, but it's not UFC stuff. Premier League soccer, like rugby, kind of like the European, more international sports.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not specifically North American, no NHL, no NBA, stuff like that. But it's at $20 a month, and there's probably an equal number of fights. They probably get 50% of the fights, like boxing fights that happen, like Canelo Alvarez, who's the biggest name in boxing. Most of his fights are there. They were trying to create the subscription model to kind of get away with pay-per-views, like kind of get rid of that industry. Because boxing, if you know, like it's like super like corrupt and shady and this and that, whatever. But now they're starting to do pay-per-views and stuff like that because there's a shitload of money in it.
Yeah. Makes sense. These fucking. Yeah, I feel you. I think like there is going to be a box coming in.
Yeah.
You could just get.
It's either going to be Apple, Amazon, or Google. One of the three of them.
Yeah.
Which come up with like an all-encompassing.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I don't know. I don't profess to know where tech is going. I have no clue. But seeing Netflix fall, that's crazy. Like, they lost $50 billion. Like, the value of the company decreased $50 billion in one day.
I'm not gonna lie though, man. Like the Canadian Netflix sucks. You ever like just switch your,
VPN?
Yeah, you know what I mean, and go.
The US one is
I'm not
amazing.
good enough at that.
I don't do it, but
yeah,
the
it's
US,
too much work for me.
Oh, US is amazing. I even went on, I was in Mexico, and someone, you have those smart TVs. Someone just stayed logged in, and they had a Mexican account, and I was just like, what the fuck? These movies are amazing. I'm like, what? So you watch all these like TV shows are out. I was like, this is crazy. And I'm like, we're getting robbed over here. And
yeah, Canada's
like I think they had like all of the Godfathers. They had like
No way.
yeah, man. I was like, I'm still watching the other guys with fucking Will Ferrell. Like, that's the best movie right now.
That's a good one.
the other guy's a great movie.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie. Holy shit.
And then George, to you after.
I don't even know.
Do you know what, man? Only because it has a little bit of everything, and the first time I watched it, I was so like fucking wowed, and the second time it's a different movie. Usual Suspects.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one.
It was
Quentin
fucking
Tarantino.
Who's
that one? It's
no, it's not Tarantino. It's I forgot the name.
Scorsese?
Brian Singer, I think. Yeah, it was just a one-hit wonder for a director, but it was a great movie. Fucking.
What's that? Kevin Spacey's in that
Kevin
one.
Spacey, yeah, Kaiser Soze, the fucking it was just
Who else is in that one?
yeah, not a really big cast, but yeah, Kevin Spacey's the main guy. Giancarlo Esposito's in it. Chaz Pilamateri, that dude. Yeah, it's a pretty low key movie, but yeah, it's fucking dope. I don't know, in terms of comedy movie, I have like three comedy movies that probably changed my life. Number one is Dumb and Dumber for sure. You're a kid, you watch it.
The best comedy of all time.
Yeah, you just laugh your ass off
Yeah.
no matter what. Second is well, as you get older, fucking old school.
Old school is classic.
I'm here for the gangbang. Like, come on, man. That's just another quote.
We're going streaking.
Yeah,
Honey,
and then
who's-
probably Anchorman. Tell you the truth, Anchorman, just another like
Classic.
just classic fucking movie. But also too, man, I was a big fan of Coming to America
Eddie Murphy.
with Eddie Murphy.
I never saw
Fucking
that.
great.
And I know they did a number 2, I think, or they did a remake to it
Yeah,
after.
Wesley Snipes, Eddie
I haven't
Murphy.
seen either of those.
Yeah, that was
A bit of a flop.
well, that's pretty shit. Eddie, because the first one, he goes, it's pretty, I think it's like rated R, or at least PG-13, because they're swearing or cussing. They're not even swearing in the second one. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm the mother friggin' king. You're like, you don't talk like that, Eddie.
Yeah.
Mother friggin'? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you could have just like, even the editors would have been like, nah, we're not releasing this movie. Like, come on, man.
Well, that's also because like comedies, I feel like there's certain jokes people can't make anymore.
I know, but yeah, I mean, say
Like
motherfucker.
I feel like you should,
at this
but
point.
even you should be allowed to kind of make any jokes. Like it's comedy. That's the idea behind it. It's a joke.
Yeah, no,
You know?
now's the hardest time to be a comedian. It's like, whew, I can't even. Sometimes I just lie to people and say I'm still getting served. If they ask me what I'm doing, but
I feel like if it's almost like if you're not offending people, like with comedy, it's almost like, is it really even that funny?
I mean, you just can't. Here's the thing, you can't. I feel like nowadays with comedy, how can I say this? You
Like,
got to be more opinion. You can't be opiniinated. You just got to be funny.
See,
Does
like,
that make
I
sense?
look back at one of like the funniest skits like I remember is Russell Peters. Somebody gonna get hurt real bad skit.
Yeah.
Like, you think about it. Imagine that was coming out today. People are like, you can't hit a kid. You can't hit a kid.
Yeah, and then
You
probably
threatening a kid?
People
Like,
will probably even say, "Why?"
That's not even the worst shit, man. Like, go watch Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious, and like,
Yeah.
The stuff
I
that gets
grew up.
said years
I
ago,
watched
yeah.
that. I watched Eddie Murphy Raw when I was like 10, and I thought it was the funniest thing. I didn't even understand it all. My cousins put me on it, and like I watched it again not long, maybe a couple years ago, and I'm like it's still funny as hell. Like I think one of the best stand-ups, but like the shit he says,
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Yeah, I think he drops like the F-bomb like in the first 2 seconds.
Oh, he makes a lot of jokes like at the expense of people. Stuff that's not, I guess, not as politically correct today. And again, like I have no opinion with that stuff. And like like to your point with comedy, like if you laugh at something, like, oh, you find that funny, that's controversial. I mean, objectively, some things are funny, objectively funny. I mean, certain things might be crossing line compared to back in the day. But again, to Ricky's point, the point of comedy unless you're doing like observational humor or you're, but even that, like, again, I'm not an expert in comedy, but there's the purpose of comedy is like there's a punchline, right? There's someone who's the butt of the joke or something that's the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Even if it's observational, like you have to, I mean, is
Yeah,
that not true? You're making,
I
you're
think
calling attention
it's
to
all
something.
about the intention. So you know what I mean. There's a lot of controversial comedians who are just, just comics who say things like if I was gay or whatever, and you just hear it gay, and then like, oh no, but then like, what is he saying after that though? Or like, I'm not saying like, there's a comedian where he'll be like, there's a controversial comedian in the city, and he has a joke where he's like, oh, I saw a Chinese guy say, is that your dog? What's his flavor? Like, and people laugh, and but that's such a like an old premise joke, right? But then at the same time, it's like, well, what's your intention?
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to say Chinese people eat dogs? Like, is there like it depends on that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it all depends on the person's like
Intention. If it's meant to be a joke, I think it's fine because it's meant to be a joke. If you're meant to like insult someone, then it's a different story. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I kind of view it.
Yeah.
If you're not in front of a show, not in front of a group of people, and you're just coming to you and I'm making like a racist remark towards you, as an insult, and that's my intention. Okay, that's obviously wrong. We know that, but I don't know. I feel like if a comedian's on stage and makes fun of me because I'm, dressed weird or something, and I'm dressed flamboyantly or something, and he makes a gay joke or something, like, okay, cool, it's a joke.
Yeah, the thing
But
with
then
I
some
do
people
though
might
is
not
like,
find that
I don't
funny.
even
Like,
do it in that way anymore. Like if I were to see you, I would be like, you got the leg tattoos and stuff. I'm like, oh, check out this like, athletic Portuguese guy. I'll just assume something. You know what I mean? Just making an assumption. And then people would just probably laugh because I'm being ignorant, because I'm just being stupid. And I'd say something like that. I'm like, sorry, that's just me being dumb. You know, you just look like someone. Because I used to live on St. Clair. I'm making fun of myself. So now I'm doing crowd work where I'm kind of like complimenting. I'm like, you're a good looking guy. You look like a soccer player. You know what I mean? But I throw up the Portuguese thing because like I grew up in St. Clair. So now I'm just throwing geography and fucking streets and people are just like, oh. Yeah. So now it's just like, oh, okay. So there's a method behind his madness.
What's I want to ask, what's the worst crowd you've ever had? Have you ever had a crowd that like just wasn't feeling you?
Oh yeah, all the time. But like, it's not that they're. How can I say this? Like when you start comedy, you're never gonna. Let's put it this way: if Steph Curry wasn't hitting those threes like from half court when he first started, he had to miss. That's like comedy. Like, dude, there's so many times where I'm just up there, just sweating, 3 minutes in, just buckets. But that's when you start, and now like that doesn't really happen because when you become like a professional comedian, I always say this: like a good comedian has a joke that they can fall back on. That's something that saves the set. But a really good comedian has a set that will save the fucking show. Like I've done shows where like I'm like in my head I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, and then I watch I'll be the headliner, and I'll watch how the show will go, or maybe I'm closer to the end, and like everybody's just fucking tanking. Or like the crowd's just not into it, So then I'll just, in my head, I'll flip it. I'll be like, no, fuck this set. Out the window. I'm going to talk about this guy's shirt. What's up with the venue? Why is this waitress fucking wearing these loud high heels? The fucking air blower from the fan in the bathroom's way too loud. I'm going to bring that up. Like these people with like 8 prescription glasses got to sit in the front row. I'm going to make fun of their fucking shitty ass prescriptions in the front. Not just like, what I mean? Just guys didn't, that's how you know you're built to be a comedian. Because it's like, okay, if that's not getting her wet.
Go on the fly, yeah.
Then maybe I shouldn't be licking the nipple. Maybe I should just nibble on the ear. You know what I mean? A real guy knows how to make them come. You know what I'm saying? So but that comes from experience. I think being a comedian in Toronto is great because it's the hardest city because no one's impressed.
Really?
Like, nobody, like it's one of the hardest cities to make laugh because I'll go, like I've toured fucking Hawaii, Halifax. I just came back from like Las Vegas and California, and it's like California, like LA is hard because it's only hard because you just had to follow fucking Dane Cook, because it's Hollywood. But like Canada, they're so Toronto, Subway, GTA, like they're very like, all right, make us laugh. All right, you get a lot of this in the front row, and but that's why Canadians, especially people from Toronto, that's why we're the funniest, because it's like, fucking earn it, dude. We earn it.
Is that like a thing industry wide where people think like Toronto's one of the worst places?
Well, comedy wise, like international comedians, like I know when they come here, like, I had a conversation, with, I don't even want to say this comic's name. She's big, and she came out here, and, it wasn't good for her. You know what I mean? It wasn't a good set for her, and I ran into her in LA, and she's like, oh man, oh, you're from Toronto? Oh yeah, that city is a fight. I'll eat you, that fucking city. Maybe it's the cold weather. They're just never impressed. And I'm like, yeah, man, no, it's, people are just like, I guess, because I don't know what it is, but I guess Toronto's just, it has that like, the they call it screw face capital for a reason. It's just like, nah, son, get it, and I know like.
I've never heard that, screw face capital.
Yeah, man.
I've never heard that either.
Really? No, it's.
Do you know people in Toronto are not as friendly as you'll make Canadians out to seem?
No, Toronto is not. And here's the thing: I was born and raised in Toronto, and as a comedian who's been around Canada, we're the worst. Like we don't. I love Toronto because it makes you who you are. But when they talk about Canadians are polite, they're not talking about Toronto. Definitely, bro. I was in the Halifax airport. Okay, motherfucking thing smaller than Vaughan Mills, right? I'm in the airport. This is fucking PA. Did anybody leave the New York Yankee hat? Will be in customer service. Come. I'm like, really? They're wasting fucking
PA
the PA announcer
announcer.
for that. I'm like, that's amazing. And like people hold doors for you and say thank you and like, like, bro, you ever been out east?
No.
Nova Scotia, nothing?
When I was young, not recently, but I intend to.
We were literally
pretty
just
soon.
talking about it last week.
It's great, man. Like, I always told my wife, I'm like, if I wasn't a comedian, I'd live out here. This is fucking, there's no traffic. Everybody's just cool, relaxed.
Good fish.
Good fish. And like, especially in Halifax, they know shit. Like, they're not like dumb or like, no, they're still city folk. They're still like I was there and there was a fucking Ghostface concert, like a Ghostface fucking killer concert, fucking from the Wu-Tang. And this was like 2014. Like, it wasn't like he was hot, like an album just, no. And the place was rammed, dude. This motherfucker, like, I was performing at a spot beside it, and I thought, I'm like, yeah, this show is going to be sick. I'm going to tear this. Oh, this is for Ghostface. Oh, this is not even for me. All right, dope. So, like, it's a fucking live city, man. But, yeah, like, if they talk about Canadians, like, definitely Toronto's not, we're always, how can I say this? Toronto's like the city where, they only love you when America validates you. It's like,
Toronto's,
when
Toronto
things are
has a
going well.
Napoleon complex.
yeah, I noticed Toronto, like the standard, you meet an average person in Toronto, they're very, or an average creative or someone, they'll be very cocky and they'll be very like standoffish and then you realize they can do something, you can do something for them. All of a sudden, ooh, they're backing your friends. You know what I mean? They're backing your friends. It's like, I've been in this industry for like 16 years and
How
it's
old are you,
not,
by the way?
I'm 38, man.
Okay.
So yeah, I started this 2006 and yeah, man, it's crazy how, I'm crazy how we're getting deep in this conversation, but like, I love the city. The city is great, but when you move a certain way, they're either going to be like, oh, fuck this guy, or like, no, okay, I can use this guy, and
It's
then
very-
when you stop being available, then they're like, fuck this guy.
It's a very bandwagon city. Like, I noticed that.
It's very cliquey too, and no one's gonna, I remember I couldn't get into certain parties and clubs and like promoters and you know what I mean. I couldn't get in. Just fucking these parties were hard, and then I started to become a comedian, and then But I guess that's how it is everywhere, right? You just have to make a name for yourself for people to like get to know you.
Well, you look at like even sports teams in Toronto. When things are going well, everybody's on it, supporting, wearing jerseys, buying jerseys, going to the events, like repping so hard. And then when the team sucks, it's like, boo, you suck.
Yeah.
Like throwing jerseys on the ice, fucking booing the Raptors and shit. Like,
Yeah, no, like I always say in Toronto is the congratulation lineup is huge, but the cheering section is
What
not
do you
the
think,
same.
both of you guys, what do you think Toronto's known for? Like, one thing.
worldwide,
Yeah.
Drake.
What is Toronto known for?
Drake.
Right now, Drake.
Right. Think about how bad that is. Like, if you think about it, we're the fourth largest city in North America. New York City that never sleeps. Big Apple, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's known for something, whatever. LA is Hollywood. Chicago is even the windy city. Frozen tundra. Like football, sports.
But if you even look at
Well, Chicago, I would say Jordan.
but I'm not saying for.
The
I'm saying
windy,
like, what are they known as?
but if
What
you
is
think
their
about
identity?
Chicago, but
Yeah.
Chicago,
What is
too,
Toronto's identity?
Deep dish pizza,
Yeah, deep dish pizza.
Chicago style popcorn.
Right. So like,
Yeah,
They don't. There's no Toronto style.
Nothing.
there's
hot
no
dog.
Toronto style anything.
Toronto style nothing.
What is Toronto's food?
Exactly.
No,
California sandwiches.
No, Toronto does have a food though. I forget what it is. So we were talking about this a couple weeks ago.
No, but there's not though. There's no food that they're known for
But here-
worldwide.
No, but we have a dish.
LA
I
is
forget what it
probably Mexican food to some capacity.
Yeah,
because-
California sandwiches.
But-
is a
but
good
you
one.
gotta
We
think
get
too,
some
LA
California sandwiches on this pod.
LA is like, you go to LA, what does everybody do? They take a picture of an In-N-Out burger. They got something. No one's coming to Toronto and be like, yo, Matt Tim's, bro. They're like, what is the thing? There's no thing. Like a poutine, maybe.
But that's
like,
what I
because
mean. Like
poutine's French,
poutine's
though.
from Montreal.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
exactly.
you see, like, this is the thing that I've started to like think over the last little while. I'm not like married to this idea, but I've started to become more like slowly more conviction in this belief. Because in 2017 I took time off to backpack and I was traveling, and I remember I was in like, I don't know where I was, like Thailand or Malaysia or something, and I was in a hostel, and I was talking to these people, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Toronto."
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we hear people from Toronto are assholes. I was like, what? That's the first time I heard it. This is early into my trip. I was like, that's weird. Like, I don't think they are. Canadians are nice. Yeah. Carry on. Like, next place. I'm in now, like, Vietnam. Same thing. Then I fly over to, like, Australia. I'm in, like, Melbourne. Same thing. Then I'm up in, like, I don't know. I'm in Europe. Same. I'm like,
it's a running theme.
And it happened pretty successively, like, a few times. Not everywhere, but maybe 3, 4, 5 times, whatever. And by the last, like, the third or fourth time that I heard this, I was like, I have a feeling I'm kind of catching on here. So the person that told me the third time, let's say, I was like, let me ask you something. Who said that? Was it somebody from like I'm gonna guess like Halifax, Nova Scotia?
Yeah.
Somewhere that way. They're like, yeah. I was like, okay, interesting. The next person said it. I was like, was this person from like Vancouver or Halifax or something? They're like,
Barrie.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere outside of Toronto. And it's so interesting because like we have this like, especially Toronto, we're so proud. We're the biggest city. We're like the center of the universe in Canada, right?
Yeah.
But people around outside of Toronto do not like Toronto.
No, not at all,
like,
bro.
no one in Toronto talks shit about Vancouver. No one talks shit about Montreal. There's nothing bad to say.
A lot of people talk shit about Montreal.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk shit about Vancouver.
Not from sports perspectives. The people.
Yeah. Oh, no,
I
people,
talk shit
yeah.
about Montreal.
Yeah, a lot of
Okay,
people.
I didn't know that. I'm not
Quebec, just in general.
Quebec,
but-
I hear like a
but for
lot of like,
example-
yeah.
No, but I get what you're saying.
When you're the biggest, you don't worry about like kind of everybody else, right? But you also carry that air about you where, again, you have this Napoleon comics. You want to flex on everybody, show everyone that, oh, we're from the big city. We're cool.
416 till I die.
Yeah, we're like, we have Drake and Bieber and we're like on LA's level now and all these things.
But we're not.
And it's really interesting because this is 2017, 2018, I started hearing this. Then I started coming back and seeing it and more. And like, you know, compounds like when, you know, you see nothing against Laval, but the first week Laval opens, you have everyone going and taking pictures of the pool and standing there and telling everyone that they're there. And every time something opens, they're the first ones to go and post about it and tell everyone.
But it's
I'm
not
sure that
like-
happens elsewhere, but it's really interesting how people flock to the hottest thing all at the same time, say they were there. To the people that were, I was at Lost and Found when Bieber was there. I was at Lost and Found when Drake was there. Like, it's a thing. It feels like so. Yeah,
It
I
feels
feel
like
it's.
but it's also like, how can I say this? Like, it's very capitalist. It's only the very like, you know, there's no. If you go to Chicago, they have so much like
very
monuments,
very
monuments of
blue-collar.
like stuff that have historically. Like they have some churches that survived the fire. I'm like, bro, if that church was there in Toronto, that's a condo, bro. That's a Loblaws, bro.
Yeah.
One.
I see. I
There's
understand
so
what
much
you're saying.
capital. Everything's money.
You're saying money. Yeah.
There's no
that's another
personality
thing.
in the city too.
That's
because everything's
100%.
money. And what I don't like about Toronto, like, dude, I did a fucking tour. Okay, I did a tour. Okay, I did this Filipino comedy tour. We went everywhere. Name a fucking city. We did a bunch of cities in California.
Also love the name
New
of it.
York. Yeah.
Trillipino.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. So we did this fucking tour, and the stop was Toronto. Okay, mind you, we did Hawaii. We go, you know, everywhere. Every place we fucking went. Okay, sponsorship, free merch, free swag. I had like, you know, Jason Mark Shoe Clean. Before this guy blew up, he's half Korean, half Filipino. Gave us fucking gift bags. Fucking Monster gave us Bluetooth cables. Like everywhere we landed, Hawaii, we had fucking alcohol. You know what I mean? Like everywhere we had something. Fucking every show, bar tap, VIP, after party, everywhere. Party ends. Fucking tour ends at Toronto. Bro, 2 drink free tickets, 2 free drink tickets. Food's not on the house. You know what I mean? No after party. Like,
Where was the show?
People, bro, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want. It's like the promoters fucked up. I'm like, really, man? This is where, and it was just so bad. And I'm like, and to me, because I'm staying here, and my friends that I just toured with, mind you, some guys are from San Francisco, some guys are LA. One guy's touring with fucking Joe Coy now. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So we're all boys, right? This is like back 2016, 20. So it's like me, another guy, Ron Josso from Toronto, other guys from California and fucking New Jersey, whatever. We're just fucking tour, right? So these guys all were like, yo, welcome to my city now.
Yeah.
Welcome to Canada. Oh, hey, that's 2 drink minimum. Hey, you know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, like, everywhere we went as the performers, we had our own server. Tell me why in Toronto we had to line up at the bar with everybody. This is a fucking theater we sold out here. You know what I mean? Are you serious? So we have to leave the dressing room and walk. No, our bar's too busy. Yeah, your bar's too busy because we fucking filled it up. So get one of your fucking servers to serve us. This is Toronto. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Like, you don't even care that we filled your place up. And you're probably just like, whatever, this is Saturday. Tomorrow, next week it's filled up. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's the problem. And then I'm just like I'll do a show. Like, I did a show at the Comedy Store. And
that's pretty sick.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm in LA a lot. But like, this is, every time at the store, something's happening. One thing or another's happening. But one time I was there, main room, I fucking killed my set. This guy comes up to me. He's like, yo, man. And mind you, LA is people in Toronto are trying to get on, but they're not trying to put anybody else on. LA, everybody wants to work
community,
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
here
this guy,
it's this thing, it's like survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
and that's
dog eat dog.
Yeah.
So then this dude's like, yo, man, you're so funny, man. You're dope. Listen, man, I manufacture watches. I would love to just make a watch for you and wear it. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Yeah, sick. Dude, fucking 2 years later, some next guy comes up to me. I do a show in Mississauga. This guy's like, yo, man, I make watches. Da-da-da. I was like, yeah, sick. Yo, yeah, whatever you need. He's like, but here's the deal. Wear the watches. Can you post it like 4 times? He had all these like rules, and he's like, but yo, the watch, after you get to wear the watch, post it, it's $200. You get to that. $75. I'll give you $75. I'm like, so you're not even giving me the watch. He's like, I was like, I'll think about it, man. I'll think about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole mentality is like, okay, don't approach if you're not ready for that overhead. If you're not ready to have an influencer,
The guy's just hustling you, eh?
Don't approach the motherfucker. Maybe I'm just sounding petty, but
no,
you don't realize until you leave. That's the crazy thing. You know?
Do you know what's funny? So I'm a big diehard Toronto guy. Like, love this city. I
do
rep
too,
it
man.
hard.
Love
it. But if there's one thing the last like maybe year, 2 years have taught me, that this is the first time I could see myself living outside of the city. I've always said I was gonna like live and die here in Toronto. Now the older I get, and then the last couple of years specifically, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe Toronto's not my home. Maybe it's Florida. Maybe it's.
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
31.
31. Yeah, that
you know what I mean? It's just like the last couple of years specifically, and everything's just happening. I feel like Toronto doesn't have, like we said, it doesn't have an identity because it's so multicultural, which is amazing, and I love that. But there's no like identity. It's just kind of it's a whole bunch of pieces of the puzzle that are brought together that don't make the one piece.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of puzzle pieces glued together on top of each other, and it's like, okay, like what does it's
like summer school.
Like, who are we? Like,
it's like night school.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh, you guys fucking figure it out. You fucking rejects.
The one thing that holds this city together, in my opinion, is sports. Because that's something that when the Leafs, the Raptors, the Jays, TFC,
it does.
Argos, when they're good, the whole city rallies behind it. Other than that, there's just people fighting about the cyclists versus the vehicles. The red versus the blue.
Taxis versus Ubers.
You know what I mean? Private school versus public school. Teachers versus fucking students.
Brampton
nurses
versus Sixbus.
Whatever. Truck drivers versus. Well, it's like it's always people fighting. Maybe it's just I'm here and I see it all the time, but it's like, fuck, can we all just come together and rally behind like this city of Toronto, because it is, one of the greatest cities in Canada, if not North America, but. Lately, I just don't feel that it is. Like,
no, I remember being 28 years old and being a comedian in Toronto and loving being a Canadian comedian in Toronto. It's like, I love coming back home. And then exactly what happens, you get to your like 30s, you start seeing shit. And you're just like, I don't want to retire. I don't want to live here.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Bro, like, dude, I was in fucking Vegas, man. I was in fucking Vegas, dude.
Vegas.
My homie over there, this guy showed me his house. Dude. And how much
you could stay to charge you a couple bucks,
bro. This guy's house, I think it was like $650,000 American, whatever. Let's say convert that
$1 million or something.
But mind you, this guy had three bedrooms, right? 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, one with a bidet, pool in the back. To get that in Toronto, bro, it's $10 million, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, it's not even that big. You know what I mean? It's like. But like, there's so much, even just the real estate, and like, but it's like, but why? Like, I see all the cranes here, but like, they're closing down, Scotiabank Theater. You hear about this? They're closing, and they're gonna open up a condo, and it's like, and they're making the condo so expensive. It's like the reason why.
Wait, Scotiabank Theater is going?
It's going. That's what I'm saying, dude. And it's like, and now they're gonna open more condos, but it's like, the only reason that justifies why things are expensive around here because it's around things, but. if you're just around people, why is it expensive? Now I got to travel to Yonge and Dundas to watch a movie? Fuck you. You know what I mean? And it's like, those seats are not the same, bro. Those seats are not the same. It's either that or I fucking truck it to Etobicoke. What if I didn't drive? You know what I mean? And this is, I live at fucking City Place, and you just hiked in my rent to just, I bought this place for a view and convenience. You took both of that away. You know what I mean? Now, looking at another man's fucking ass cheeks in the morning.
I knew you were going to say that. I was in my head. I was like,
watching this naked man on a treadmill on his Peloton. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I'm ducking fucking dog shit every day.
That is why I moved out to Mimico.
But that's smart.
A couple years ago, and honestly, and I've actually like thought I love it out there. It's a little bit more of a community. It's weird. It feels like a blue collar pocket in Toronto. Like it's like because Etobicoke is very like wealthy on the north side of the highway. On Mimico side, like I run. It's gonna develop soon. I can see all the projects going up. But like I run around the neighborhood, I even go walk, whatever. Like
no, but I feel like Mimico is people like you.
It feels more family. It feels more like young, working class people. Yeah, and I love that, honestly. Like,
no, like a middle class. I feel like it's a middle class millennial.
It has that vibe. And even when we go on Lakeshore, like that Lakeshore stretch between Mimico and Long Branch, like it still looks kind of ghetto. Like not ghetto in the sense of ghetto, but it looks old and kind of worn down. Yeah. You see some people that are older, not a little bit. Sickly.
But there's also still like new sick restaurants and young businesses.
There is. It's gentrifying, whatever you want to call it.
No, I was in that.
But
area.
like that's the thing, right? Like
It's okay.
You made a point earlier about like how there's no like that character, right? And that's one of the things that I've always struggled with. Now, mind you, Toronto is a lot younger than New York or Chicago, all these cities. But it's so interesting how like we have no integrity in our like design and like and no sense of like
the city plan
prioritizing
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no sense of like prioritizing the character of something rather than profits, right? Yeah. In Chicago, I know there's a law. I don't know if it still exists, but I know there was a law for a long time. You could not build south of Lakeshore. Yeah. Meaning you couldn't block the view of the lake. And then there's one tower that went up and there's one that's going up. One of them got special permission. He was some billionaire owner, I can't remember. And there's another one going up now. But like that's amazing. Nobody's view will be blocked of the lake.
Forever.
Forever. I mean, assume, but yes.
But that's what I'm saying.
But like
There's
even,
no character.
but like even New York, you go down New York, like you see these old red brick buildings, you see these old things, and like they're building, like
Central Park.
It's more dense, more dense. So they're building these like crazy tall, skinny, like high-rise towers, which are super expensive. Most people can't afford to live in them. But then you go down the street, you go like to Soho and all this stuff, and like there's character in each little pocket. Never mind the boroughs, Manhattan, Brooklyn, whatever. Like even within those, there's so many pockets.
Exactly, yeah.
Like
Soho, Chelsea,
everything, right? Like
Fashion
Toronto,
district.
okay, we look at Toronto like just like downtown Toronto. That's small. That's not even like southeast, like the south tip of Manhattan. Like it's like Mimico, theoretically part of like the north side, like be like Upper East Side kind of thing. It's only you can walk to the city. But anyways, to that point, that's one of the things that I think that lacks with Toronto as well. There's no integrity in the building. There's no it doesn't have a character in our identity, and it's interesting because you can go like. Anyways, I'm kind of like getting all
I
here,
get
but I find that really fascinating. That
but the character is capitalist. It's making money. That's why there's no like let's make this look nice. And then the guy's like, no, fuck this place. 18 more condos, and I got fucking 18 billion. All right, no, he's good. No, he got the money. So I feel like there's no. Like my buddy lived at the Canary District over at Distillery District.
Yeah.
And then they had the Foundry. Do you see that whole shit? They're going to knock over this historic building.
Oh, the one at the north, right at the entrance of the gates.
Yeah, and then Dougie's like, nah, fuck it. We're going to tear it down. And
Are they tearing it down, the building on
and
it?
then no, and then people like protested and they're keeping it. So like shit like that, like the extremes you got to go to keep your city looking nice.
Any piece of land that exists in Toronto is zoned more or less, like the majority, I'd say 80% is probably being rezoned for like high-rise density condos, and there's the other, let's say 10-15% is being is being built up now by like big companies, big asset managers, property owners, stuff like that, like office towers. There's a lot of office towers going up,
which I don't understand why. Like I don't know why people are like.
But like if you own an old building, like why won't someone just take? I understand it's about making money, but like rent it to a restaurant, man. Let someone build a nice restaurant in there. Let someone build something cool and different. Like. Yeah. It's crazy. Just any place you can build.
They're gonna put that. These condos now have the fucking like plazas. It's crazy, man. Like I don't know. Like what you were saying. You think you want to stay here forever, but then I don't know. Like I love the city. I love everything about it. Like I love, from Danforth to fucking Parkdale. Like, there's so much character and shit you can do.
Ossington, Queen.
But I also feel like, I don't know, man. Like, you don't like exactly that. Like, what are we known for? Like, just jerk chicken and you know what I mean?
Honestly.
Like,
no, but George, you said it. Like, what is Toronto known for? Drake. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
Even
That's
like,
that's not a thing. That's a person.
Yeah.
Right?
Like even the
So
weather. Like, bro, look at the
crisis here.
fucking weather, man. Bro, I just came out of California. I saw it snowing. I'm like, did I just come from a time machine? Did I fly into November? Like,
So I was again, as we were talking, I was kind of I was dazing off and thinking about other things, and it's so funny because I remember last summer being at Trinity Bellwoods thinking, "Fuck, God, I love this city." Like being at Trinity on a summer day, and you see like Trinity Bellwoods is such a wide variety of characters you see there.
Oh,
you see the suits. That are off Bay Street, they come to Trinity with their dogs and they got their cool little outfits. Then you got the hipsters, then you got, your weed smokers, then you got like the gang of homeless in the corner. Like, it's a wide variety of characters.
Guys playing that fucking
Spike
dodgeball or whatever, spike ball.
So there's a wide variety of characters. And then you go into the winter, I'm like, I fucking hate this city.
Yeah.
Like, the snowplows can't keep up with the fucking roads. Like,
but not even that. Like, even like,
you know what I mean? Like, the way it's the city's kept in the winter is just so poor. Like,
but even the winter's like, it has a bite. Like the windshield. Like, you ever been to like Calgary or Edmonton in the winter?
Well, not in the winter, no.
Like, it's cold, but it's not. Like, it's snowing. You know how it snows, but it's not.
I heard
windy?
Winnipeg and Calgary are cold.
It gets cold. It gets
I heard
cold.
it's cold.
Like minus 40 shit.
Yeah.
Bro, there was one time I was in Edmonton in October and it was snowing and I was so mad.
Yeah,
but it was nice. And I was like, this is great. But then fucking sometimes though you're in Toronto, it has that bite. You know what I mean? And you're like, damn. And then the summertime it gets really humid. So there's no real
You
like
sweat your ass off.
yeah, like I remember I'm on a group chat and all my boys are like, yo, let's go to Stanley Park and play ball. I'm like what time? They're like 10:30, 11. I'm like, are you mad? In June? Are you fucking crazy? You want me to DI? Are you what? I'll just get, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, we start playing ball 6 p.m. Fuck you. Sun's still out, but it's going down. There's a breeze. No, we're not doing this wide when the sun's burning. Are you crazy? Like, I'm just getting old where like people are like, yo, come out in this like June, July, August. Yo, 2 p.m. I'm coming out. Fuck, or meet me before 6 a.m. You know what I mean? Because it gets, I'm at, where I'm at. It's fucking, it gets humid there. And the thing where I live by the lake, so it's beautiful in the summer when it's humid because you get that breeze. So sometimes I'll walk outside. I'll walk outside. Like say I walk, where we are right now, this area. I'll bring maybe just a hoodie and shorts because it's windy.
That's nice. Yeah.
The minute you hit King Street, bro, I'm sweating. I'm like, why the fuck do I have this sweater, man? So now I'm just sweating. I would have put if it is in the fucking summertime, I would have pulled up, and you're like, yo, this guy smells like onions. Like this guy came from Burger King. Like this guy stinks. I don't even want this guy in a podcast no more. Like this episode's 20 minutes. This guy reeks. He bought a hoodie in June. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Is he stealing? Like, it's bad. That's just me though. Like that's just.
We've had some of those people have come here after the park because we're right across from Stanley, right? We've had a couple of people where it's like, yo, somebody's got to leave this office because it gets hot in here too because the AC is not that good in the unit. So we usually have this little portable AC unit. And that window just kind of like, that's our only real window we have here. So and you get one or two guys like comfortably you fit 10 people in here. That's the right number. Any more than 10 is too much.
Yeah.
Actually, probably even like 8's the right number. But we've had like 15, 18 people in here, and you just got that one person that fucking reeks.
And it's game over, man. It's game over. No, but
fucking fumigate the room.
What's your favorite city that you've been to?
In
Since
terms
we've
of
been
what?
bashing Toronto so hard for the last like.
No, that thing is like I'm shit on Toronto a lot, but I love it.
I think we all love it. It's just like we know that our love is very personal, but
I love it, but I think it's overrated.
It could be better. Yeah.
I think
you can quote me. Shout out to fucking.
No, everybody's gonna probably watch this like, fuck this guy.
Shout out to what?
I don't know what I just said. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm shutting out, but like,
you know what
honestly,
I mean.
it's
no,
great.
we get.
It's a good city. I actually like. I do love it here. And I grew up here, whatever. But naturally, like, again, even that question, we can pivot off this topic, but that question when you ask, like, what is Toronto known for? Most people, like, what do you say? What is Canada known for? People say, like, free healthcare. Okay. That's what we're known
Hockey.
for. And hockey. We're not even good at hockey.
Yeah.
When's the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup?
94.
Can you think about that? Like, we've been alive almost as long as the team is. That is insane. We have 8 teams or 6 teams. So many teams we got.
Is it? We have 6 teams, and yeah, I think it was 92 or 94. Patrick Waugh and the Habs.
Yeah. So, like, hockey, what Canadians are known for hockey and fucking igloos and healthcare, and we can't win at hockey. I haven't seen an igloo in a long time.
You know what?
And healthcare, leaves a lot to be desired.
Also, too, we get a lot of praises for our French Canadian women. Every time I'm in, like, dealing with some, like I'll be at, Just for Laughs festival, and like some of the comedians there from the States, like, yo, where are these French hookers, bro? Woo! Like,
wait, so we're known for our French Canadian women, really?
Bro, apparently, a lot of like important, like New York, New Jersey, like politicians, or like, have like whores that they visit in Montreal.
Come on.
All like Midwest, like, yeah, it's crazy.
I had no idea.
Yeah, dude. I'm
gonna change my Hinge location to Montreal soon.
I found that out through an American. I didn't even know that. So the guy was like,
Really?
"Yeah, man, fucking, what's up with these Montreal hookers I keep hearing about?" I'm like, "You keep hearing about what?" I'm like, "To school me, bro." Like, I didn't fucking know. So I mean,
I haven't
like,
been in Montreal in a while.
yeah,
I
but
might be going.
Yeah?
If I don't do London, England, May 2-4, I'm doing Montreal.
I was just there, man, and they're
Montreal.
like Montreal, and I think this is when the mask came out. So when I flew back from Canada, from California, I went straight to Montreal, and California had no masks, and there, like, they were like, I was just checking in my hotel. Like, mind you, I'm going from hotel to hotel. I can't keep track of,
Mask,
I'm not
no
saying
mask.
like I'm an anti-masker. It's just whatever, I'm just
You
I have
weren't
10,000
used to
things,
wearing
yeah.
one, yeah.
This guy's fucking yelling at me in French. I don't know what the fuck he was saying, but he was just yelling. I was like, oh man. And that's the thing too. Like, I love Toronto because it makes you tougher. So you're just like, oh, shut up, man. I don't fucking, But the thing is, like, I also notice when you're in other provinces, you can't say you're from Toronto. They will fucking get angry. Like, one time I went on the road with this other older comedian, and he took me to I think like Thunder Bay or something, and he's like, "Yeah, don't say you're from Toronto." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "They'll spit in your food." I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, they'll spit in your food. Don't." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, dude, and I look young. I'm like, he's gonna ask me for my ID, when we get to the bar." He's like, "Fuck." He's like, "All right, no, let's not go here." He's like, "Let's go to a place where I know they're not gonna ask you that they know me." So this guy had to like literally go out of his way to make sure they don't know I'm from Toronto. Like, you know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah, I get
like,
that.
it's crazy. I'm like, what? So I remember when I first went to Nova Scotia, I was just telling people I was from Chicago. So they're like, "Where you from?" I'm like,
Very
"Chicago."
similar.
Yeah,
Very similar.
So, but I guess that's just how it is. But that's the thing, though. But the thing about Toronto, though, was when you show up somewhere else, your swag is so different because you're not impressed by anything. People work so hard to impress you. So, like, I'll be in like Winnipeg, or like, Alberta, or anywhere, and you just stand out. And I love being Canadian in the States because they're just like, "Yo, this guy, what? Where you from, bro? Your accent? How do you know so much of this?" You know what I mean?
That's one thing I didn't realize. A lot of Torontonians have accents.
I think we have an accent compared to Americans.
No, but even like compared to like people in out west, or even, well, obviously
Yeah.
French Canadians, we sound different than them. But
Alberta, they're fucking right there, and fucking I go for a rip, and fucking just dummy this burger there, fucking, you know what I mean? So
I gotcha.
yeah, no, it is, and the only thing that bothers me about Toronto now is like the cool slang that most urban kids are using are like mostly Caribbean, and it sounds so weird. It's like Persian guys are like yelling in patois. It's like, wow, what? You know what I mean? These guys are like, "Wagwan star." I'm just like, it sounds weird. Just don't. You know what I mean? I like about the identity of Toronto. Like, I feel like we're just a bunch of confused guys.
Yeah, I bet. It's
You got this freaking Asian kid yelling in Caribbean cuss words. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? So
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I wanted to ask you, talking about playing the Comedy Store.
yeah.
What's that like? Because I've like been like, I'm a fan of comedy, and I actually watched the Comedy Store documentary on HBO not long ago, and it was.
Yeah, no, it's great. I've had the opportunity to do it multiple times. So I mean, the Belly Room too, where Dave Chappelle shot his special. So I've done the main room and the Belly Room, and it's funny when you first get to the store. I guess the server knew I was I guess the guy who works the manager. He knew I wasn't from. So like, Keith's here, man. He's like, oh, where you from? Toronto? He's like, you never been here? I was like, just like in awe, like, oh, this is it. This is the place. I heard like Jim Carrey sleep on his couch and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, man, check out that. Then he points to the table. It's all these like scratches. He's like, it's Richard Pryor, little cocaine habit there. I was like, nice. And like, there's this rumor that like there was a comedian that killed himself in the Comedy Store. Like he jumped off one of the roofs. So they say that like, don't be in the green room.
Yeah, apparently it's haunted.
Yeah, they say it's haunted.
At the Comedy Store?
Yeah. You watch the documentary. The documentary on HBO is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. That place was
I gotta get that box. We gotta unlock HBO.
Yeah, we gotta get that. Yeah,
that place is the Wild. Was the Wild West back in the day, man.
It's fun. There's actually I actually like there's one in Pasadena, a comedy club, the Ice House. Have you never heard of it?
I've heard of it.
I love that place though.
Yeah,
that's probably one of my favorites because it's just the setup is nice, and then it has like all of like Johnny Carson's shoes that he used to wear on the fucking stage, like just on the walls and stuff. So that's a dope place to play. But in terms of like overall just cities, you know what, man? I talked about them before, bro. Fucking Halifax, Nova Scotia, great city. Just to like, cause I guess it's such a sleeper. Cause when you land, you're like, whatever, Halifax, and you're like, oh shit, it's fucking dope. Cause it's also like a bay city, so it's like everything's a hill. So even if you might see like a chubby girl, and you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna come back here in 4 months. This girl's gonna be fucking thick. She's gonna be because everything's like uphill. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, and that whole city's just, like they're nice. Like, I've been to places where they never knew what a Filipino was. You know what I mean? In Canada,
just white people,
just straight white people. Like, some people thought I was native. I remember I was in Moncton, New Brunswick, and they were just like, who's this aggressive Mexican? Like they had no idea. But yeah, so I'll experience some sort of like racist shit, and it's weird too. Like I'll experience like in Ontario, like really, man, like you're like 45-minute drive to Upper Canada Mall. Like, it can't be that bad. So I remember we were in Halifax, and I was all hungover, and I went to a diner, and the waitress is like, and I was just like, it was winter because I had to perform again the next that day, and I was like, you guys have tea? And she was all like, yeah, we got like she starts naming the tea, and then she goes, oh, and we got good green tea, right? I guess because I'm Asian, and then she's like, oh wait, no, wait, I didn't mean it like that. So she kind of like backpedaled, like she felt bad, so. Like that's the like the racist shit like you'll get in Halifax, like just someone overly polite trying to make assumptions like, oh, and we have solid gold chopsticks. Oh no, you don't have to use the chopsticks. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just really nice to you.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like it's weird. Like I don't know. I definitely recommend you guys going out there and checking it out. Like,
what's your favorite show you've played, or I guess your favorite place you've had your set?
Ooh, in terms of
favorite place you've had a set.
There's so many.
Set or your favorite venue you've had your set? Like
both. Like what's the best place? Not the place you had your best set.
Ice House is one of my favorite places. I'd have to say Massey Hall. I did Massey Hall.
That's
6,000 people. That's fucking great.
That was not the place with the two drinks.
Different
place.
No, Massey Hall across the Eden Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine they're like,
my boy Eli.
We got 2 drinks.
Ticanis. You're good. You're
That's all good. Yeah, no, I did Massey, and that was pretty dope. Like that, because when you have an applause break, it's weird because I had a homie that did it, and he told me, it's like, yo, don't don't go out. Don't look. Like when the show's going on, don't like let it sink in. The stage is big, so when you walk to the mic, take it all in. So I was like, all right, cool, that's smart. So I did, and like I've done a theater where like, okay, boom, you got the bottom level, and then bam, you got the. No, it's different, man. So I was like, like there's like all it's fucking what, and because you don't see them, like I'll say a joke like, you know, and I fucked her, and then big applause break, and I wait like, all right, cool, I'm dope. Here comes the next one, right? And then I'm like, yeah. So then, but dude, this time it was like, and I fucked her. I was like, nice, I'm dope. So then, and then another fucking wave of it had to come. So I had to wait longer. So I'm not used to like layers of applause breaks.
Is that one of the biggest shows you've played?
It's probably the biggest. 6,000? Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest. And then I did Blaisdell Theater, which I think in Hawaii, I think that was like a couple thousand too or something like that. But yeah, it was just whatever. It's weird because when you do your own town, it feels good because like when I did that show, like people didn't even know, like people were coming to the show, and people that I haven't spoken to a long time. Like that's the best feeling that I'll get is like, you know, you get a Facebook message from so and so from elementary school, bro, just saw you at fucking this show or that's fucking for real, holy shit, you know. The best is when like old girls that I used to like try to fuck with and then give me the time, and then they're like, you know, they slide in the DMs and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna leave this bitch on red. Or not even. Sometimes I don't even open it. I'm petty like that. I don't even.
My man just delete the message, so you don't see the notification either? You ever do that?
Oh, yeah, that's great too. Doing that is like, feels like you just moved out of a new apartment. Like, you know what I mean? You moved in and like, fuck this hoe. But
Keith, we're coming towards the end. This is big. I want to ask, what's the rest of 2022 have in store for you?
Fuck, man. First of all, this year's gonna be great because, you know, I'm gonna spread so much more love in Toronto because, you know, we've been shitting on it all episode, and and I'm just gonna go hand out a bunch of flowers and free beef patties across the city because I do love this fucking town, and I love this town because it's hosting the Junos that I was nominated for. So I'm gonna be at the Junos this year for a comedy album of the year. I just finished Canadian Screen Awards for Roast Battles, so check out Roast Battles Season 2 on Crave TV. That's coming out with Russell Peters. I'm gonna be in New York. I just shot a special in LA, so you can check that. That's probably gonna be coming out soon. And yeah, man, what else do I got going on? I don't know when this is airing, but I got my 420 special show that we do. Or if you guys smoke weed and like to watch comedy, come by. It's a speakeasy venue.
When is it?
This Saturday.
That'll be released. This episode is going to be released shortly after that.
Oh, okay. So
we'll still plug it though.
Yeah, you know what? I do a weed show. You can get edited and start. I do a weed show that you guys can check out. We do one every like 3 months, anyways. So you know you don't have to come to 421, but we do one and what we do is like we pick cool venues. Like the last one we had was at like a old movie theater on like the East End.
Okay.
So like you would sit like in this rundown movie theater.
Is that one on Queen Street? There's one old movie theater. My girlfriend's like family was that way, and I drove by. It looks like sick but old, like
Queen,
small.
like East, like East Queen and Gerard, like far.
Yeah, like far, like the beaches.
Yeah,
there's like the power plants like down the street or something. That one?
That was it.
That one, I heard it's sick.
Fuck, it's dope. It's like
old.
Yeah, they used to. Interesting fact. They used to show like pornos in that theater. So you're sitting on ghost
juice. That's just a fact that I know you would know. Like,
yeah, well,
just like,
bro, when we checked out,
skipping school to go to watch those pornos in the East End or something.
No, not even.
Sure.
But those were pornos in the 80s. So that was like when motherfuckers had like afro pubes and sideburns. But like when we got to the venue, so I was like, the guy who was running out the venue, he's like, so what are you guys doing for the venue? We're doing a comedy show. Oh, a comedy show? He's like, yeah, we're gonna smoke weed in it. He's like, yeah, you can smoke in it. Okay. Interesting fact though. This was a theater for old porno, so you can bring that up in your skit. And then I did, and I was like, I go to the audience like, interesting fact, guys. This used to be a porno theater, so you're sitting on ghost jizz. You're just sitting on some weird. But yeah, so we did that, and then I think in the summertime we're gonna probably do a rooftop one.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's not, because we always get these complaints. Your shows are good, man, but the fucking hot box, dude. I had to wear that jacket to work. I almost got in trouble. It's like, we told you to wear the same jacket. So when you're trying to do one on the roof, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why you brought the weed drink, eh?
Yeah, man. I'm a big 420 advocator.
Yeah, I got that.
Respect.
Yeah.
Keith, this has been a fun one.
Hey, man, you guys are the pals, man. I'm glad I'm one of the pals now. I'm glad that Pedro pal is here. You know what I mean? You guys need anything, Filipino. We got fucking, you need to hook up on a nurse. I got you, bro. You want to cut line at a Tim Hortons drive-thru? Yo, man, one of my fucking cousins got you, bro. We got it.
I love it.
Appreciate it, man.
Well, we'll make sure we share all the stuff that you got coming up. That's awesome. If people want to find out more about you, where should they go? How can they find you?
Just follow my Twitter. My name's been blowing up recently. It's at Bill Cosby. And just want to give that a nice follow. Click like and subscribe. No, just gonna at Keith Pedro. Just simple name. Keith, like, Keith Primo. Pedro, like vote for Pedro. Not a hard name. 2 first names if you really think about it. But that's it, man. Yeah.
Well, Keith, we appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
This has been a blast. Guys, you made it to the end. We appreciate you. Give Keith a follow. Give Georgie, myself a follow. Share this with your friends. And that's it. Till next episode. Peace, guys.
See ya.